and connect with the movers and shakers of this industry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to explore the glamour like never before, and hence I request all of you to kindly go visit the multiple stalls that are outside so that you experience the varied range of beauty products and, of course, the engagement activities that we've got for all of you. And also, let me give you a quick brief of what we're expecting this evening. Well, we're expecting insightful sessions and discussions, engaging activities, and ample networking opportunities. So don't worry, we made some special space and time for that. Let me quickly brief you about today's lineup. Now, today's lineup is rather exciting as we start the evening with captivating fireside chats with trailblazers who have revolutionized the beauty landscape with their expertise and, of course, their innovative spirit. And later, we've got an exclusive launch that you just don't want to miss. So brace yourself for the ultimate slay with a showstopper showcase. And as the event comes to an end, there will be the networking opportunity that all of you are waiting for with everybody that you want to engage with. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, now that I've set the tone for the evening, let's call upon the main man. Let's kickstart the show by inviting on stage Mr. Amitesh Jha, Senior Vice President, Category and Marketplace, Flipkart. Let's give the man a huge, huge round of applause.
Hello.
Well, the stage is
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Let me first start with actually welcoming all of you. It's always a pleasure to meet the people from all part of the ecosystems which has made Flipkart work. The thing that I'm going to speak about is more in terms of why we believe Flipkart is one of the places where innovation happens and why this event is an important part of that as well. To understand why we are doing this event as well as why this evening is important, we need to start with what is the history of Flipkart. The history of Flipkart has two very important aspects that we essentially look at. One is that what we have always done is diversified and made sure that when we reach essentially an end consumer, we reach all walks of the society. It's not only one specific area that we are looking at. It can be a small town, it can be a big city. We really don't really discrimination in that. The other thing which we do very, very well is innovate around that. That innovation is around business models. That innovation is essentially around the technology aspect that we bring in, and which has been one of the reasons why Flipkart has been the reason why e-commerce in India has grown. If you look at the big business model innovations which we did, we started essentially cash on delivery, which made sure the people who were not sure about interacting online were able to buy with more trust. We started the Big Billion Days, which ensured that the top of mind, when people want to buy deals, they know when to come at that point of time. When we started thinking of we have to ensure that people get more out of online and we build a loyalty program, the way we did it was to make it more accessible to everyone. We did not ever think about that, you know what, let me ask money or let me do something else. It's all about that all of you can be a part of our program. You just need to be buying more. So in a way, the philosophy that we have always used is to make it more accessible. The same process is something that we have done for our beauty and personal care as well. We started off a bit late. We were earlier, if you guys have shopped on Flipkart, you will know that we were earlier a majorly mobile electronics as a kind of as a destination. We actually started a bit late, but we've used the same formula. The aspect of technology, the aspect of access to every Indian, which ensured that when we use this, we get a lot more customers online rather than a niche customer. So that has been the way we have always worked. So our objective always is to democratize whatever we are doing here. When we, for some reason it works intermittently, sorry for that. Yeah, so one of the aspects is that we would want to essentially democratize e-commerce. As part of that, we also want to make sure that we essentially democratize beauty in India as well. When we speak about that, what we generally mean is that even if there is a customer in a small town in say the northeast of India, the access that they have is at the same level that one who is in Mumbai. That's the guiding principles that we use, which means access to technology, and which makes sure that the product and items which we have is something that is also appealing to them. There are two aspects that works to do that. One is the ecosystem play. We have never been able to do without our partners. So first thing that we are essentially going to do is ensure. Sometimes I feel that, we have sold a lot of electronic products, but this one aspect we have still not been able to solve. Apologies for that. But the first thing that we do is essentially make sure that we partner with the people who are essentially going to do it. So if you look at the history of Flipkart, if you look at all the successful business that has been built in India, forget about e-commerce, or it could be anywhere. The important thing is partnerships. The way we are going to do it is make a selection, a very wide selection of brand, a very wide selection of products, and use multiple influencers to make sure that people understand what they have to buy, and people also know that this is the right product for them. If you don't have this range of items, it is impossible to have a particular product for me. That is the basic guiding principle that we are essentially using. How are you actually going to do it? We are also going to do it by having a very healthy presence of technology in this. As an example, so I'm now going to talk about three specific areas that we have done well over the last few years. The first aspect. Okay. All right. The first thing that we did was the virtual try-on. It is already live on Flipkart. So one of the aspects that we have seen is that when consumers who are not that aware of what exactly the item looks on or how will this particular product look on, we are talking about 500 brands, millions of products, right? We want to make sure that when people buy things that they have not seen, they have some understanding of what they are looking at. So example, virtual try-ons. And we have seen that when consumers engage with it, the overall as a conversion is also much higher. So it's not about just essentially consumers actually coming in, but it is also about how much they are engaging with the platform. The other things that we have done is, all right, the next step of all of this is when we are talking about the 500 brands and more, what we also want to make sure that people start buying when they are thinking of brands. Not that I want to buy a beauty product, it's all about that I want to buy the specific brands. So we have made a brand wall. We had made sure that the accessibility of that is for each and every brand, so that when they build their loyalty for the end consumer, it is on all that aspect as well. Things like video commerce. Again, it's an important aspect because it essentially highlights, even if actually it won't move, I'm going to speak about it. It essentially highlights the aspect of products which won't be very, very apparent in a text construct. I'm sure all of you are e-commerce buyers and you are in a habit of looking at all the text in a product page to figure out what is there in this product that I essentially want. Video commerce, whenever we have essentially done it, and a lot of them is actually done by influencers, have shown dramatical improvement in consumers' understanding of things. They essentially coming back to the product and then eventually buying it as well. So it's a very, very sharp engagement feature as well. There are a lot of other items which are essentially there, and we have also got a very big launch on that. And I would request all of you to please, and all of that will be essentially coming here, and we have some aspect of that also in the next room. And we will be essentially hoping that all of that will also help you understand how we are essentially going to change that. So first of all, again, a very warm welcome and thank you for coming here. Thank you very much. Moving on, as part of the next session, we have a very beautiful guest here, somebody who actually needs no introduction. Please welcome on stage Ms. Parineeti Chopra.
आला शाही चुन्नी तेरी ब्लैक ओ मुंडे होके परदे तेनू तक तक के नचे जदों हाथ तू लक उत्ते रख के प्रॉपर पटोला नखरा साफ सूट पटियाला शाही चुन्नी मेरी ब्लैक ओ मुंडे होके परदे तेनू तक तक के नचे जदों हाथ ना लक उत्ते रख के
Thank you, Parineeti, for really coming here, and let me formally, say welcome you to the event.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I must say it's a very fun crowd. We were sitting backstage and I was hearing some hoots and whistles. So good. Good. I always love it when it's a fun crowd.
Great. Before you came on stage, we are speaking about beauty, okay? And I'm sure because the crowd here is very specifically for that particular aspect, they have a lot of questions. So what I've done is, in my limited understanding of beauty, I have really figured out what are the things that would be essentially top of mind for the people here, and I would be asking those really questions.
Okay, now I'm getting a little nervous, guys. I don't have some big secrets, but I'll try.
All right. First question is, what makes beauty so important for an individual? And how do you define beauty and personal care in your own words?
I feel like the word beauty has been used and abused sometimes. Sometimes people think beauty means a lot of makeup. Sometimes people think beauty is a great physique, 6 abs for the boys or whatever. What, 6-pack for the boys and, the perfect figure for the women. For me, beauty is when you feel good about yourself. Honestly, everybody's made differently. Sometimes your hair can look good. It can put you in a good mood. Sometimes you're wearing an amazing outfit. It can make you feel good. Sometimes the weather is so good. It can make you feel good. To me, beauty, or when I feel beautiful, is when I feel comfortable and happy. And then I don't really care about how I'm actually looking. Does that make sense? I could be really happy in my chappals and sweatshirt, and I think I'm looking fab. And sometimes I could feel like wearing like a sari with jhumkas and full-on makeup, and I think that's beauty too. So I think beauty is about how you feel and not how you look.
That's actually quite insightful. So it's more internal rather than necessarily external.
Yeah, and I know that everybody says it's internal, but like so many people can't be wrong. I really genuinely feel beauty is definitely internal.
Perfect. So what is your beauty regime? How often do you change that?
Some of you have laughed because I'm going to be exposed now. The truth is I have no beauty regime, guys. I'm honestly one of those people who literally washes their face, puts on a moisturizer, lip balm, and I'm out of the house. And I don't have any nighttime 87-step skincare routine. If you come to my bathroom, you will see an empty counter, only my face wash and moisturizer, I swear to God. And this is something I've learned from my dad and my dadi and my mom. None of us own like 35 different products. If you need it for your skin, if you need it for medical reasons, if you like using it, if you like how it smells, you must buy the products that you love. For me personally, simpler the better. The more minimal it is, the better it is. And I've just felt like the more I let my skin breathe and my hair just be, the better it somehow turns out looking the next day. So lesser the better is my regime. Also, I'm lazy.
I think a part of my next question you have already addressed, but maybe
this happens a lot. I over-answer questions, and then usually people keep checking their questions. They're like, oh, sare answers isi mein de diye.
Isi mein aa gaye.
हाँ, correct.
So,
ये होता है.
Now, since you have already, now you know what you want to buy or what you want to do that.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing to think about while let's say buying a beauty product? A part of that you already answered, but if you can just explore a bit more that.
Honestly, like everything else in the world, one size doesn't fit all. So do not listen to somebody and start using things on yourself. 99% it will not work. You need to do a trial and test, and unfortunately that may be a long process for some, because some people have sensitive skin, some people have sensitive hair, some people have brittle nails. Whatever is the beauty regime that you're trying to adopt, please do it on your own. A trial of your own is absolutely necessary. Don't blindly do what others are doing. Take advice from skin experts, take advice from websites, read about it, etc. But do trials with small quantities, and then you will know what works for you. That's what I feel.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
In general, what we have seen is that for the last few years, online has become extremely important for Indian consumers as well as outside. And beauty and personal care have become more so.
Yeah.
Have you bought online or when you buy online, essentially what do you think about or what would you essentially suggest what to look at online which makes sure that you do address whatever you have been speaking about till now?
I exclusively shop online actually now. I can't focus in a store anymore. I mean it. When I'm traveling abroad, I feel like today I'm going to go to the mall and today is the day of shopping. And I go to all these stores and I come out with nothing because I just feel like the variety and the ease that online shopping brings, honestly, on the floor, I just don't feel the same. And this is the truth, genuine truth. I mean, you know that online scrolling that you do on social media, etc. at night, I do it online shopping, putting in carts, sending to my stylists, be like, ye bhi, ye bhi, ye bhi, ye bhi. You know, that's me at night, guys. So I just feel like the convenience is very big today. Today people want to save time, people are busy, they want access, they want variety, they want convenience, and that cannot come from going to the floor anymore. At least for me, and I know I speak for most people that I know, it's the same. So I literally buy even my toothpaste online now. Like I buy everything online. It comes into your hand, into your house. What else do you want?
That's absolutely
Yeah, you have to walk like 2 steps.
You don't want to walk 2 steps as well.
Not that also. Yeah.
Perfect. Good. I think one of the things that we see also online is you get a wide variety of products, right?
Yeah.
It is, you keep on scrolling, you'll keep on seeing new items.
Yeah.
When you understand your personal skincare needs, how do you essentially figure out what product is right for me, what to look at? What exactly is the way that you really think about those products?
I think reviews. I think people online are pretty brutal. You know, if they don't like something, they will write and make sure they write like 5 times about it saying, do not buy this. I think reviews can be trusted to a great extent. So for me, real people talking about the stuff that they've bought, you know, a face wash, or a lip balm or a shampoo, whatever. I think people really go out there, make the effort and write things to help or maybe just to vent. I don't know. But it helps. You can I think you can sift through a lot of stuff. That's
I'll
what I
ask
think.
you a very personal question.
Please go for it.
More essentially to me. See, I have a dry skin.
Ah.
Okay. When I go and shop online, one of the aspects that I see is that a lot of people who may be reviewing items may not have the same level of dryness as me.
Correct.
Okay. How do I address that? I mean, when you look at product, is there a way to figure out, this is my skin tone, this is my... So how do you essentially figure out what is the right product for you?
Sir, जब तक कुछ taste नहीं करोगे, कुछ smell नहीं करोगे, how will you ever know? That's what I started with. You never judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, that is the one weakness that we face in online shopping. The only way to do is, now there's so much of flexibility that websites offer you. You can buy, you can return, you can exchange, you can try. There are small quantities. It's not like you have to buy a 100 ml bottle for everything. So you must try. Every person is unique and nothing is going to work for everybody. So to me, honestly, when you have dry skin, I may have dry skin, the other person may have very dry skin. The 3 of us will never ever work with the same product. So unfortunately for me personally, if you ask, it has to be a trial and error, nothing else.
Understood. And I think one of the aspects that actually technology does well is to get you that particular information absolutely right. So in the subsequent sections, you will also hear about a product that we have built that actually addresses that specific part.
Yeah.
All right. So again, thank you very much. I know I have a lot more questions than this, and I'm sure people here also have a lot of questions. But first of all, thanks a lot for coming
No,
and
thank
thanks
you
for
so
being
much.
so insightful here.
Thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you guys. I will now go and do some actual shopping. I will go and do some window shopping. But thank you so much, guys. Have a great time. Shop a lot. You're in good hands. Sir, your dry skin, don't worry. Flipkart hai now.
Thank you. So for actually opening of the event, I would like to invite Kanchan.
To check. Well, Parineeti, you have to actually just announce that we are finally live. So go ahead. Yes, yeah.
We need your opening.
Yes, we need your enthusiasm and your spirit to go ahead and say that the Flipkart Glam event is now live.
Oh, really? Let's do it together. Come. Sure. Come, sir. For all types of skin.
Very dry.
All right, we officially announce the Glamour Fest is now live. That's all, everyone. Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Parineeti. Well, guys, let's give that a huge, huge round of applause. And I have to tell you that I think that Parineeti taught me a thing or two is because unlike her counter, my counter is really filled with a lot of products. In fact, just sitting behind, I've just ordered myself a brand new lipstick because there are 40,000 varieties to choose from. So I'm on the contrary side of the spectrum. Well, with that, you know, there's a little tease that Amitesh gave us about the technology. So let's move on to that. Let's move on to that wonderful segment as to how technology can help you identify your skin type and help you with a range of products that you'd like to choose. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's call upon on stage Nishant, the Senior Director of Flipkart Consumables, and Krystle D'Souza, who's been a leading lady of television on many shows. One of the most iconic, welcome, one of the most iconic TV show of all time being Hazaron Mein Meri Behna Hai. And of course, they've got something very special to tell you all. The stage is all yours. As well as, ladies and gentlemen, also let's give a huge round of applause for Krystle D'Souza.
Hey, hi Krystle. Hi. Welcome to the Glam Up event.
It's my privilege to be here. Hi everyone. I heard a lot of noise. I can't hear it anymore.
So before we unveil the product, I wanted to ask you one question, Krystle. How do you, so while online brings so many products to your doorstep, how do you really choose which skincare product would work for you? Like Amitesh said, how do I choose which skincare product would suit me best?
Like skincare is something that's very individual. Some people have dry skin, some people have, little more subtle skin. Some people have very different kinds of skin. So you have to know your skin a little better so that you can select your products. I'm somebody who loves beauty products. I love experimenting. I love trying products. Finding that one product after trying so many makes so much sense. So I don't mind it. I try a lot of products, and then when I find that one hero product, it's for keeps.
Great. But to help rest of the India shop better and really get the right product for them, we have a great product innovation that we have done on identifying the right skin type and getting the right recommendation for your skin concerns and skin needs. That's called Skin Analyzer. Can we have the AV please for the Skin Analyzer?
India is a broad palette, broader than any other part of the world. And that means what works elsewhere won't work here. So why settle? We went to the drawing board, created technology from scratch, added some wrinkles to remove yours, but more than anything, to celebrate how diverse we are and how there's the right product for each and every one of us. Summer, winter, rains, cricket, dust, traffic, and tons more. Because you put your skin through a lot. We put it through a lot of technology. Say hello to Flipkart Skin Analyzer, your most personal assistant and your most useful routine. Scan, discover, enhance. Welcome to the future of skincare.
Guys, that's the future of skincare, getting personalized recommendation. And to tell us more about this product, I would like to call upon Ravi, who is the head of Flipkart Innovation Labs, to help us explain on the product.
Hi, good evening everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Ravi Krishnan. I lead Flipkart Labs. Flipkart Labs is our moonshot factory, which looks at leveraging innovative technology and latest tech to launch innovative solutions and differentiation for our customers. So really excited to be here today to launch the skin analyzer, which Nishant just spoke about. So while we looked at launching the skin analyzer, we found 3 key customer insights that we wanted to address. The first is that skin problems in India are extremely diverse and fairly prevalent, and we heard some of that from the earlier speakers today who spoke about dry skin, etc. Right? The second key insight that we discovered was that recommendations are very important for customers when they make skincare purchases. And we have a lot of influencers here today who would vouch for that. And either it's recommendations from friends, influencers, that's a very important step. But something that online does not give, or e-commerce does not give very effectively today. And that's something we wanted to flip around. The third insight we found was that customers are increasingly looking at routines and not standalone products, especially when they start looking at long-term solutions for their skincare problems. So to address all 3 of these, we have launched the skin analyzer, and we are very happy to announce the launch of that, which went live on the Flipkart app today. And we have built this in deep partnership with Modiface. We have some members of the L'Oreal team in the audience, and I would like to express my gratitude for them. I think they've been burning the midnight oil along with our team over the last few days to make sure that we are launching this in time for this massive event. We have a deep partnership with Modiface. We launched the try-ons with them, which again Amitesh spoke about earlier today. And we are excited to take that partnership to the next step by launching the skin analyzer with them. So you will see more about the product. I'll try not to bore you with too much theory anymore, but essentially what the skin analyzer does is identify your skin type, ask a few questions on what is it that you want to focus on for your skin, because you can have a certain skin type, but you can still focus on whether you want to solve acne, whether you want to solve firmness, clarity. That's up to you what you want to do. And based on that, give a curated routine of products which are suited for your skin type and the problems you're trying to solve. So this product looks to bring the best of Flipkart's data insights and Modiface's proprietary technology for the Indian consumer. We've tested this product extensively with both users and dermatologists before we've launched it, and we wanted to keep the flow easy to use, but at the same time informative, relevant, and impactful for customers as well. So without further ado, I'll hand the stage back to Nishant and Krystle for the cooler stuff, enough with the theory. Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Honestly, what you said was very cool.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for bringing this product for us. I think it's going to help us build the right skincare recommendation for consumers. And Krystle, I understand that you've tried this. Can you help us understand how did you find, did you find useful, what was it?
Okay, this is a blessing in disguise because like I said, I have tried out so many products to find that one product, and this was so simple. I literally had to keep the camera, they focused from forehead to chin, and found the products that I need for my routine. And when I went on it, I'm like, you know, there is for my pores, there's a section. There's something that I want to target on, like my fine lines, there's a section. For pigmentation, there's a section. So there's a section for everything. It's what you want to work on. And I chose the things that I wanted to work on, and I got all of those products, like you can see. I did choose what I like out of it, put it to my cart, and it's almost reaching home.
Awesome, great. Thanks for that, Krystle. That really helps. I would encourage rest of the people also here to try it. Right now, it's live in Experience Zone as well as on the app. Please try it, look at the regime, and buy the best product for yourself. Thanks so much. Thanks, Krystle, for coming.
Thank you, Nishant. I honestly am having a great time at Glam Up, and you guys must check out everything. It's amazing.
Great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Nishant, and thank you so much, Krystle. I'd request you to just help them. Thank you. Well, you know, I have always had this dilemma with technology, and I'll be really honest. From virtual anchors coming up on some seniors broadcasters to now technology helping me with the skin analyzer. I don't have to go through that entire range of product and something that is available for my skin type. Now that's a win-win. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to shift gears to that part of the evening where we have exciting sessions. and of course the fireside chats. And truly this really interests me is because all of us have this instinct of being an entrepreneur in today's digital age and the startup culture. So you don't want to miss out on this. So we're going to take a small breather as we set the stage for something very, very exciting coming up. Stay tuned with us and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
My Glam Super Serum BB Cream with hyaluronic acid and SPF 50. It's serum, it's makeup, it's both.
Ready to go, beautiful and bold. Break up with your makeup and go for the gold. Yes, it's gonna play. Yeah, yeah. It's
सीक्रेट है बताना बोला ना सीक्रेट है
Introducing the all-new range of body sprays from Secret Temptation. Shh, it's a secret.
कौन सा परफ्यूम लगाया है सीक्रेट है
Presenting the Nast's body perfume range by Secret Temptation. Shh, it's a secret.
कौन सा परफ्यूम लगाया सीक्रेट है बताना बोला ना सीक्रेट है
For an instant perfume burst, the all-new Secret Temptation perfume roll-ons. Shh, it's a secret.
Listen. Sorry. वो छोड़. डियो कौन सा लगाया? सीक्रेट है. ओए, बता ना. बोला ना सीक्रेट है. अगली बार मिल तो.
Secret Temptation. Deos for women. Shh, it's a secret.
नया My Glam Super Serum BB Cream with hyaluronic acid and SPF 50. It's serum, it's makeup, it's both.
ready to go, beautiful and bold. Break up with your makeup and go for the gold. Yes, it's gonna play. You can have that all day. Yeah, yeah. It's something I've got for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. And I'm back with great news, is because now we head towards the most anticipated panel discussion that we have this evening. And this is going to be my favorite, is because I'm trying to do the same. And it's called Building Brands Amidst changing trends. And that is the biggest issue that we have in today's time and age, with everything being so rapid and with the attention span of people being so small. How do you do that? I'm really looking forward to that. And today we've got amongst us an esteemed panel of experts who will shed some light on the dynamic landscape of brand building in the digital era. So joining us this evening, we've got David Thubo, General Manager Consumer Experiences for L'Oreal India. Let's give that man a huge, huge round of applause. And along with that, we've got Akash Anand, Founder and CEO, IDM House of Brands. Let's give them a round of applause as they join us on stage. Welcome, good evening. And may I also please invite our moderator for the day. It's Sankalp Mehrotra, Vice President of Monetization at Flipkart. Welcome. Thank you.
We'll wait for yeah. Great. Good evening, everyone. We have the entire panel here. Welcome, David. Welcome, Akash. I'll just take about a minute or two to set some context about what we want to talk about today. Globally, if we look at it, there is a change that is happening in the entire digital media ecosystem. Broadly, there are three phases in which we can distribute, how digital has evolved. So if you go back to 2001, that perhaps was the first stage of change in advertising around digital, which is when search came to the fore. Back in 2009, 2010 is when we saw the rise of social and video. And I would say from 2016 or 17 is when retail media has really started to come to the fore. And numbers, you look at any geography, in the US, close to 20% of total spends that are happening on digital are now happening on retail media. In China, that number is actually now close to 50%. And in India also, those numbers are breaching about 20%, likely to be close to 30% in the coming few years. And I think all of this is happening because of two or three top trends, right? The first is verticalization of search itself. Right, so all of us as consumers have started to go to different destinations for different search needs, right? And more than 50% of product queries in India now have migrated from horizontals to verticals, right? That is one big change. I think the second key thing that is happening is that the number of shoppers who are online, right? Give or take, we are talking of anywhere between 200 to 250 million people who are already shopping online in India, right? So all of this is actually creating a reason for brands to also follow and be where the consumers are, right? Just kicking things off, Akash, would love to hear your points of view on what is the kind of media mix that a brand should be thinking of now, dependent on the stage of evolution of the brand or any other dimension. Would be great to hear your POV on that.
Thanks, Sankalp, and thanks for having us here. So I think in today's date, any brand, new or old, has to start investing money in digital mediums, right? And in digital mediums, it is your regular platforms like Facebook, Instagram, etc. However, go back 10 years, right? A brand who was selling offline would have to advertise where? In a shop, right? Yeah. So now the alternate to a shop is what? A Flipkart or an Amazon or a Nykaa for us, right? And for other brands, marketplaces. So e-commerce and marketplaces is definitely where the brands should be now and where a majority of their ad budget should be being spent. And that's very, very important.
Got it. Got it. David, would love to hear your thoughts, as brands think about, let's say, being present more on retail media, given that it is a very fertile space for brands to be discovered. What are some changes that are happening on the customer experience front? What are some trends that you're seeing, some of the observations that you might have?
I think one of the key points is that, first of all, brands really need to focus on consumer experience. It's absolutely a key topic across the journey. Okay, from media to content, through new models such as social commerce, consumer care, all of this needs to be tackled. And if we want to build great brands, and we have great brands at L'Oréal, it's very important to focus on this. And I see one of the greatest opportunities definitely tech. So Flipkart has a fantastic example today because we are very happy of this partnership with Modiface. Modiface has been acquired 5 years ago by L'Oréal. Over 15 years, Modiface has been the leading creator of augmented reality, providing great services such as the makeup try-on you have, the skin analyzer today, all of this power with augmented reality AI. And one thing that L'Oréal is adding to this is the research of L'Oréal. The patents, the publication, all of this is backed by and is a perfect mix between knowledge in beauty and tech. And so by this way, we are creating super strong experience, strong personalization for the consumer. And so it's a fantastic opportunity, and it's a great example of this partnership between L'Oréal and Modiface.
Thank you so much. I think the next thing that I want to dwell upon or talk about is, one trend which is really shaping e-commerce in India is micro-segmentation, right? We spoke about something that we are doing at Flipkart. There is a very clear, let's say, top-tier premium customer. There's customer from tier 2 and tier 3, right? Let's call it India and Bharat. From your vantage point, Akash, I mean, how should a brand think about it, right? Given that there are very disparate cohorts of customers that are getting created. Any thoughts or
Sure. So
what should brands do?
There are two types of strategies. One is going all over the place. One is going big and targeting almost everyone to see what sells, to see what audience comes your way. But the second is a more focused approach, where a brand has to identify whether they are more for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or the lower demographics, and then pick the right influencers, use the right AI, and especially go vernacular. Once a brand's able to identify which segment they have to reach out to, that's when they start making content for those demographies and going vernacular in order to be able to tackle different consumers. For example, for us, our perfume business, the biggest consumers for us belong to tier 2 and tier 3. That's why, unlike other brands, making very plush and posh content for us doesn't work. So brands have to be very, very, decisive about what kind of content to make, in what language, in what way, in what aesthetics to please their relevant audience.
It's great that you make a point about vernacular, right? If I look at what we are doing at Flipkart, we are available in more than 11 languages. I look at a bunch of new customers who are coming onto the platform. They are primarily coming through vernaculars, right? Additionally, things like voice. I think the key thing is, how is it that you create access? How is it that you make it more and more seamless for the customers, irrespective of the geographies that they're coming from, to be able to shop online, right? With that, David, I wanted to ask you a question. In terms of differentiation that you might create for various kind of customers. So you look at technology as enabling every cohort of customers, but do you do any tiering? Do you think there's any differentiation that needs to be created across various customer cohorts? Different customers using technology.
Yeah, of course. So I think the strength of the technology is that, for example, L'Oréal, we try to provide absolutely beauty for all. But at the end of the day, this technology with personalization allows beauty for each, because you can find your own skincare, you can find your own makeup, you can find your own look. And so this is a strength also. So we democratize technology but that's half of all. But ultimately, you will find your recipe because the skin analyzer will tell you if you need hydration, if you have pores, and so consequently, which routine you need.
Thank you. Final question to you, Akash. In terms of if you were to just talk of one or two things that brands can start doing today to make a difference, right? So it could be a new brand, it could be a scaled brand, but given what you've built, one or two nuggets of experience of growth vectors, if you may so define, that brands can start doing today for them to succeed in this environment.
I think the first would be that brands have to make sure they are present with all their portfolio across all e-commerce marketplaces and, work closely with their counterparts, in those marketplaces to ensure they get the right attention needed. And second, I think we were talking about AI before this, weren't we? Yes. Anything I'm going to say is being used by every single brand or every single professional here. But I think targeting the right demographics with using AI is the next big thing. So we are currently experimenting with an agency that's creating AI-based ads, influencer ads for us, where these influencers are of different complexion, different hair color, different looks. And that algorithm or that software automatically would play a Tamil kind of a looking females ad in South India, where they would pay a more of a northeastern looking kind of a models, an AI's ad and those demographics. Similarly, language, look, feel, everything through AI is becoming very easy, very, very affordable, and very quick. So this is something which I should leverage at.
Awesome, great insights those. David, the same question to you, like one or two things that brands should start doing today for them to be able to create a differentiation and grow.
I think very simply, any brand should care about their execution. Having brilliant basics is key. Having great content is also fantastic. So the execution on the platform, if I take a platform as a Flipkart, great execution on the PDP, on the store. So all of this is a first good step, I think.
Excellent. I mean, so if I were to just summarize the discussion, 2 or 3 key takeaways from what I've heard from you, what we are realizing is that the market is getting more and more segmented, as is media, right? Retail media perhaps becomes a very fertile place for brands discovery to happen. The second would be in terms of the differentiation that you need to create for customers, right? And the third is just trying a bunch of new innovations to be able to connect with those customers. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give our panelists a huge round of applause, please. Thank you so much. I have to tell you, with every passing moment, I'm actually kind of falling in love with AI. I have heard so many different stories using it myself, but thank you so much, gentlemen. Now that we've already spoken about technology, it's time to delve deeper. And how do we do that? It's through our next panel discussion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now we discuss the convergence of beauty and technology. And today we will explore the exciting innovations which lie in the future of beauty and what it holds for us. The discussion is titled Beauty and Technology and What Lies Ahead. And I would like to invite our panelists for this session, please. I'd like to invite Ketki Paranjpe, partner Sixth Sense Ventures, Rohit Shankar, partner Bain and Company, and Amy Del Sincera, which is SVP Business Development and Partnerships at Modiface. And let me tell you, he'll be joining us virtually, a L'Oreal Group company. Let's give them a round of applause. Welcome. Welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, beauty and technology.
Hey, welcome, and thanks for joining this session. What we'll be discussing in this session is, so far we have discussed, the transition from purchasing offline through retail stores and then into online. It's it's kind of like, a phase where online is playing defense. Is how can you bridge the gap between the experience offline and the experience online? But moving beyond that, how can online actually be more special? That is, uh, what can online offer that the offline experience cannot offer, and as a result, people will flock to buy online? That is the space where we'll be discussing today. And as all of you know, buying beauty products online is a very thoughtful and a personal decision. It's not made that easily. People look for a lot of trust. The aspect of trying on means that the experience of purchasing is as important as the product that they are purchasing. And usually what we have done in the past, what Flipkart has done in the past is we have had two products, one of which we saw today, but way back when we launched this, the virtual try-on, where either uploading your photo or using a model's photo, people can actually like try on a few products and then see how it works on them before making a purchase decision. With the skin analyzer, you can, of course, go through a series of questions, answer a few questions, and then it'll offer you personalized recommendations. So technology is like catching up and also leaping forward the offline purchase experience. What I wanted to like kickstart this session to all of you, and we'll start with you, is what do you think is the biggest challenge in terms of buying beauty products online using tech? What's the biggest challenge that tech needs to solve?
So, interesting question. So let me start out by firstly saying that I believe the leapfrogging of technology, we are in the Goldilocks era as it relates to beauty and online retail, right? Because beauty per se as a category is quite similar to books. It's long tail, so there is endless aisle, lends itself very well for that online shopping behavior. It also has this very interesting aspect of the volumetric being low, right? So AOV is high, margins are high, not a very weighty product like say food products or diapers, etc. So it lends itself very beautifully for online commerce. Historically though, there was a frictional element when it came to shopping for beauty, which was largely driven by the experiential aspect you spoke about, right? So I think the experiential aspect, which is sort of getting solved by technology with this entire virtual assist and those elements coming through, along with AI-driven chatbots that can actually act like virtual assistants, can solve this to a large extent. I see the biggest challenge being adoption, right? Because I think we are still 2 steps away from firstly it working well. So, the image that you actually see on the screen should actually match with the product that you buy. And if that doesn't, then you sort of lose trust on the platform. So I think that the technology needs to make sure that it delivers that trust across the board. The second is obvious aspects around data privacy, making sure that users are trusting the platform, and the information, very personal in nature, how does that get utilized and risks associated with that? So I think that's another challenge that I see from a technology standpoint. But I think the benefits of it far outweigh some of these challenges. And I do believe we are sitting in a very interesting time where this could really leapfrog and really translate to a very scaled shopping behavior and sort of burgeoning of beauty as a category.
Thanks. I'll also get Hemi's thoughts on this. Hemi, the question was essentially, what is the biggest challenge facing online purchase decisions for the beauty category, and what should tech really solve for? Thank you, Hemi. Over to you.
Yeah, I think thank you for having me here. It's great to be here. Just building on what Ketki and Jaime said, and I think I'll just sort of break this up into two parts. One is on I think where we are, and second what the challenges are at the moment. On the first, I would argue actually that in part it's a superior experience online. So there are certainly aspects that today have overtaken the offline beauty counter experience. And I can speak from my experience of heading Lakme until about 3 years ago, where who would have thought that sales of new products, new shades, overall makeup sales would be so large on e-com? Because you always intuitively think, it's a very touch and feel. You've got to go to the store, got to go to the counter. But that trend has been rapid. And if I'm not mistaken, makeup today is 25, 30, maybe even 35% plus online. If you look at AR, when somebody does try the AR feature, conversion rate goes up dramatically. If you look at engagement on posts, if you look at interaction with SKUs which you may not sell offline, I would say it's clear. There are many elements of the online experience because of tech which are already superior to the offline experience. In terms of challenges, I think there are two. Ketki alluded to it, which is number one, I think the first experience has to be great, because otherwise, it's like if you look at apps, the first time download, the number of downloads versus repeats, right? So it's the same principle. If that first experience is not seamless, and I would argue maybe 5, 7 years ago it wasn't, but today it is much more seamless. So if you can get it to be seamless the first time, I think you'll have repeats. And the thesis on this is proven that when people do use AR or makeup, online, Makeup Pro or Modiface, etc., there is a higher conversion rate. That's one. Two, I think the second thing, which is an opportunity as much as it is a challenge, is what is the complementarity that you can get between online and offline? Because from a consumer perspective, they're not thinking online, offline separately. It's got to be seamless. And as shopping missions evolve, I think there'll be a clear role for online and a role for offline. And I think for brands, that's the real challenge in terms of how do you demarcate that, make it a continuous loop, complement the experience, and then that's where they'd look to, I would say, platforms like Flipkart in supporting that objective.
Fantastic perspectives. The segueing into how influencers or creators can guide people into making wise decisions while purchasing these products. See, there are two ways in which you can think about the purchase decision. One is defense, which is how do I trust this? How do I try it on? Which is like bringing it on par to the offline experience. The other is offense, where a better way to personalize, very unique way of inspiring people to purchase products. What role do you think tech will play here? We'll start with you and move to Hemi.
Sure. No, I think you hit the nail on the head with personalization. I know it's been a word that's been in vogue for a very long time. But I'd say in the last 3-4 years, brands are doing it well, and you can do it at the top of the funnel in terms of marketing. You can do it at the bottom in terms of product. I think product will be a longer journey. You won't be able to do thousands of types of products, but as long as you're able to connect the most relevant assortment to that consumer based on data that the consumer has, and here's where first-party data actually plays a big role. Again, the verdict is out. When you have personalized communication or personalized offerings, it's a better experience for the consumer, and it's better business for the retailer and the brand. So I think personalization really is going to be a big differentiator for online versus offline, because it also allows brands to innovate more and do things that they wouldn't have been able to do in a more conventional offline engagement environment.
Thank you. Over to you, Hemi. You've played a huge role in Flipkart launching the virtual try-on and the skin analyzer, so very curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to add to the point Rohit mentioned earlier that using this technology to integrate offline, online, and create a very seamless experience for the consumer is a very interesting application. So, for example, one of our portfolio companies, TAC, they are using their offline stores to collect customer information, because a lot of friction for online players is how do you get customers to fill out the information. So that friction is less in an offline environment because you can offer instant perks. The customer is in a mind space to sort of engage and indulge, learn about the brand. So that offline data can then feed into a smarter online engine at the back, whether it's in terms of consumer experience or even the kind of product innovation that you have across the brand. A second interesting use case is how do you make your offline experience via your beauty advisors consistent and thorough when it comes to product knowledge. So that's again a place where technology can play a very important role. So I think the lines are blurring, and as I mentioned earlier, I think it's a very exciting time for all our friends who are in the beauty business. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very good perspective. Last question of the day, and it's almost a crime to not ask this question in this time. How do you think generative AI, what sort of role is it going to play in this space in the future? Let's start with Rohit.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I think it will, if you step back, I think the role it will play is that of an enabler. I think what you want to do with the consumer is clear, which is you want to personalize, you want to make it convenient, you want to make the experience seamless. Generative AI will just help get even better at doing that in terms of better, predictions, what's this consumer going to want, better processing of data, more intelligent recommendations. So I think it's super powerful. It will make a big difference in the experience. And I would say the way to think of it is consumer back. And how can it really enable what is the same set of outcomes that we wanted yesterday? How can it just make that better?
Over to you.
Yeah. So the way I think of generating AI and the role it can play is almost like a virtual beauty advisor, right? So I think a very overwhelming aspect of skincare is lack of knowledge. You don't know what actually works for your skin. You don't know what one ingredient means versus the other. So there's a lot of confusion related to that. And I think that's where it works well in an offline world because it's a very consultative approach. So somewhere a generative AI could sort of substitute that by virtually having like a Q&A style consultation with the user. So I think that's a very interesting use case. The other use case is just the kind of content, right, that can be created to make it interesting, innovative. I think just the volume of product information, copy, all of that, which again adds a lot of newness and excitement in this category, which is very impulse-driven. So I think those are two very obvious use cases, according to me.
Thank you. Over to you, Hemi.
At the end of the day, we work with algorithms, and algorithms need to be trained, and you need a massive amount of images to train those algorithms, which actually has been one of the biggest challenges, right? When training algorithms, how do you come up with that data set and that image set? Generative AI is actually helping us build those data sets by basically generating those images that we need for training those algorithms. So again, I would still mention the two use cases you guys mentioned, but you stole those great ideas from me. So just wanted to contribute one more.
Thanks all of you for joining and giving us
Thank
your
you.
views. It's been a privilege hosting you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause and a special thank you to our moderator, Mr. Bharat Ram, Senior Vice President, Product and Tech, Flipkart. Well, all right then. Moving on to our third and the final panel discussion, but for that, we'll take a little breather. I'd like all of you to stay tuned just because you don't want to miss this. This is rather interesting. It's content commerce for the Indian market. So stay tuned and we'll be back in a jiffy.
$33 shades of red lipsticks, still scouting. 3 hours to get ready, but who's counting? It's my skin, I choose to prep it up. It's my face, I choose to do it up. Cause I want my eyes to speak and my lips to wink. While I think I like my nails to tap my head in pink. Did you start to gossip? That all my time and money goes in the way I look. When you look like $1 million, it's alright. 33 shades of red lipsticks, still scouting. Not posing for any selfie, yet pouting. Like me, unapologetically me.
ग्लो तो देखो ये ग्लो देखकर तेरा भी शादी करने का मन कर गया ना?
शादी नहीं, शादी वाला ग्लो चाहिए एवरीडे, जैसे आपका।
फिर तो रोज उपटन लगाना पड़ेगा।
रोज उपटन?
मामा अर्थ उपटन फेस वॉश, जिसमें है नेचुरल टर्मरिक और सैफरन की गुडनेस। स्किन डीटैन करे और दे शादी वाला ग्लो एवरीडे।
शादी वाला ग्लो तो मिल गया,
अब दादी वाले ग्लो की बारी। मामा अर्थ उपटन फेस वॉश, ये नेचुरल।
I'm tired of retreating. All that one sounds to me so obnoxious. Will you play just say
एक सवाल जो अतीत को भविष्य से जोड़ता है। क्या लगा है? सीक्रेट है। बताना। बोला ना सीक्रेट है।
Introducing the all-new range of body sprays from Secret Temptation. It's a secret.
कौन सी परफ्यूम लगाया है? सीक्रेट है।
Presenting the no-gas body perfume range by Secret Temptation. It's a secret.
कौन सा परफ्यूम लगाया? सीक्रेट है। बताना। बोला ना सीक्रेट है।
For an instant perfume burst, the all-new Secret Temptation perfume roll-ons. It's a secret.
Listen. Sorry. Watch what? Dio कौन सा लगा? Secret है. ओए, बता ना. बोला ना secret है. अगली बार बंद कर.
Secret Temptation. Deals for women. It's a secret.
Naya My Glam Super Serum BB Cream with hyaluronic acid and SPF 50. It's serum, it's makeup, it's both.
Beautiful and bold. Break up with your makeup and go for the gold. Yes, it's your day. You can have glam all day. Yeah. It's Saturday love for a studio. Hyaluronic acid की hydrating power. Now for your hair. New Hyaluron Moisture by L'Oreal Paris with a shot of hyaluronic acid. Instantly fills hair with moisture and locks in hydration. 72-hour hydrated hair. Shiny and full of life. It's not magic, it's science. New Hyaluron Moisture by L'Oreal Paris. We're worth it.
खुद को एक्सप्रेस करना makes me shine. मुझे नाज है खुद पर. I'm colorful, visible and strong.
इसीलिए I choose the new Casting Creme Gloss Ultra Visible by L'Oreal Paris. No ammonia conditioning hair color with royal jelly. Dark बालों को illuminate करे with vibrant colors. 5 times ज़्यादा glossy shine के साथ. 93% कम breakage. Unique होकर भी
We stand together.
we are a shade apart. New Casting Creme Gloss by L'Oreal Paris.
Because we're worth it.
डार्क स्पॉट्स को रास्ते से हटाओ.
Try the L'Oreal Paris Glycolic Bright Expert Skincare Range. Validated with dermatologists. 70 times more brightening glycolic. Penetrates fast to visibly reduce dark spots in 2 weeks. For even beaming skin, try the L'Oreal Paris Glycolic Bright Expert Skincare Range.
we are worth it.
Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation in a powder. Now in India, covers like a liquid, mattifies like a powder. One swipe for full matte coverage. That lasts up to 24 hours. Waterproof, controls shine. Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation in a powder. By L'Oreal Paris. We're worth it.
33 shades of red lipsticks, still scouting. 3 hours to get ready, but who's counting? It's my skin, I just to prep it up. It's my face, I just to do it up. Cause I want my eyes to speak and my lips to wink. While I think I like my nails to tap my head in pink. Did you start to gossip? That all my time and money goes in the way I look. When you look like $1 million, it's alright. 33 shades of red lipsticks, still scouting. Not posing for any selfie, yet pouting. Like me, unapologetically me.
ग्लो तो देखो ये ग्लो देखकर तेरा भी शादी करने का मन कर गया ना?
शादी नहीं, शादी वाला ग्लो चाहिए एवरी डे, जैसे आपका।
फिर तो रोज उपटन लगाना पड़ेगा।
रोज उपटन?
मामा अर्थ उपटन फेस वॉश, जिसमें है नेचुरल टर्मरिक और सैफरन की गुडनेस। स्किन डीटैन करे और दे शादी वाला ग्लो एवरी डे।
शादी वाला ग्लो तो मिल गया,
अब दादी वाले ग्लो की बारी। मामा अर्थ उपटन फेस वॉश, ये
I'm tired of retreating. All that one sounds to me so obnoxious. Boy, you played your sad,
एक सवाल जो अतीत को भविष्य से जोड़ता है। क्या लगा है? सीक्रेट है। बताना। बोला ना सीक्रेट है।
Introducing the all-new range of body sprays from Secret Temptation. Shh, it's a secret.
Well,
लगाया है? Secret है?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's clearly not houseful. So I'd like a houseful audience here. I request everybody who's outside to kindly join us on, right here in the auditorium, because we are actually shifting gears to a rather interesting space. This is for you, this is made for you, and this is tailor-made if you're looking forward to brand building and all the trends in the space of beauty and personal products. I request all of you to kindly join us right here in the auditorium, also because we've got a very special guest who will be joining us on stage for this rather important panel discussion. Let me tell you that this is something you don't want to miss, is because all of us somehow are involved in content creation. All of us are on social media. We've got 2 phones right now pointing at me, one on a call, and I can literally see all of you because that's the amount of people we've got in the auditorium so far. We'd want more, come on. We'd want more. We'd like everybody to kindly join us in the last panel discussion, which is very, very intriguing. It is content commerce, building it the Indian way, and you don't want to miss out on that. You don't want to miss out is because you want to know how content is actually having an impact on the global space, especially the Indian market, and how it influences all the consumers there. And this is a discussion you want to be a part of. Everybody outside, request you to kindly please join us. I give you 2 minutes, come on. Give us some enthusiasm, some cheers. This is going to be a rather special one. I like that hoot. Okay, everybody outside, I see some really pretty faces outside. This also includes men, is because, well, Men are pretty too. All right, let's just have everybody in, please, and let's kickstart the third and the final panel discussion for the evening. Everybody outside, request all of you to kindly join us in. I'll give you guys a little space. I'll give you another 2 minutes, and I'd love a house full for our next panel discussion. Better. You can tell with a smile on my face, and promise you this is going to be one intriguing panel discussion for all of you. Everybody who's standing there, kindly come in, join us, take a seat, relax, and enjoy this panel discussion. Everybody outside who are entering in, please, please, kindly be seated as we're kick-starting with our next panel discussion. Lovely. So she's broken the surprise here. You know who's coming. You've got Bhuvam Bam who will be entering right here. But let me introduce our panelists. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we're discussing today is content commerce, building it the Indian way. So may I please invite on stage Sucleen Aneja, Good Glam CEO, to please join us in the panel discussion. Let's give her a huge round of applause as she takes center stage. Welcome. Good evening. All right. With that, of course, you heard the lady very loud and clear. We've got the superstar, the YouTuber, and of course, venturing into so many other ventures and businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the limitless star, none other than Bhuvam Bam. Well, there you have it. We've got Bhuvan Bam in the house, and moving on, we've got Meghna Parao, Director, Facebook, E-commerce and Retail, joining us on stage. Please give her a huge round of applause. And may I also please invite our moderator for the discussion. It's Kanchan Mishra, Senior Director of FMCG, Home and General Merchandise at Flipkart. Welcome, and the stage is all yours. Well, see you soon. Enjoy the discussion.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you all of you for being here tonight. It's a really special day for us. We are hosting the first edition of our offline event, Glamour Fest. E-commerce is evolving, and the way customers shop is evolving. We've moved from selection, value, convenience, being enough. Customers are seeking trust, inspiration, aspiration, education. And hence, we are looking at the new era of e-commerce where content becomes very important.
offline settings. So it could be either on offline or via WhatsApp, but get a deeper engagement, especially for brands that are born on digital.
Thank you for that. And you're right. In Flipkart's small journey of live commerces and influencer-led commerce that we've done, we have seen over millions of customers engaging, a lot of them coming in from Tier 2 plus, largely seeking the trust and the connect that you're talking about. Meghna, you're an influencer in your own right. Given your experiences, how do you see content commerce evolving globally? And how do you see India catching up to the trends, or does India behave uniquely?
Firstly, I think the influencer tag goes to someone else here. I'm only busy working with the influencers and learning from them. But on that note, I think India, the one word I'll say is Reels. And I think we can't think of this entire ecosystem without Reels in it. And one very interesting fact to say that India is truly at the leading edge of trends is in the world of Meta, which is Facebook, Instagram. Reels was India was amongst the first countries where we launched Reels as a global company. Yeah, and today it's just taken it over completely. We see almost 24% of time increased where people spend time on Instagram since the launch of Reels. And even more importantly, when you connect it to commerce, in India, about 80% people say that they have seen a product on a reel and then engaged with that business. Almost 77% of them say they've bought something because they've actually seen a reel. And the other very cool thing is it's not just passive consumption of content. So on reels, engagement is very, very high. So just internationally, about 2 billion reels have been shared. And in India, about 97% of the people that we did a survey with say that they have themselves shared a reel. So I think that's the really, really nice part about content, where it's not just one way, passive, I see it and that's it, but I actually see it, experience it, and use it to make a purchase. And their creators have such an important role to play. So influencers, creators, we call them creators. And that's the other side to it, where India's on a fast path to be definitely the #1 country in terms of number of creators on Meta platforms. So I would say the number is almost like 100 million creators exist today in the country and very, very fast growing. So it's a beautiful synergy across that ecosystem.
Very interesting. 100 million creators. Wow. And you do see the impact. I mean, for a commerce platform like ours, customers who engage with real content, for example, are a lot more engaged, a lot more high on retention, higher basket size, lower returns. Just the quality of customer goes up many folds because of the trust that they build. Bhuvan, 26 million subscribers on your channel, 70 million followers on Insta. Wow. Tips for brands and influencers here. How do you make engaging content? And how do you make content that's relevant? What do consumers look for?
First of all, a very good evening to all of you. यार कंटेंट एंगेजिंग कैसे बनता है? मैं आई गो विद दिस पर्सनल थिंग विच इज़ गट फीलिंग. आई एम श्योर यहाँ जितने भी लोग हैं उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ के मेजर डिसीजंस जो हैं, बड़े डिसीजंस हैं, वो गट से लिए अपने, कि मेरा गट कहता है कि ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए. व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड आई न्यू दैट इफ़ आई वांट टू penetrate the masses, if I want to enter each and every building of this country, I need to make my content relatable. ये relatable, I know एक बहुत ऐसा word है जो बहुत overuse हो गया है, हर कोई बोलता है कि relatable बनाना है, but मेरे साथ actually 8 साल पहले, अभी 5 दिन में 8 साल हो जाएंगे बीबी की वाइन्स को, और मैं यही सोचता हूँ कि why has it worked for me in these 7 years? It's because relatability. I know that I've seen people in my DMs, on mails, or when I meet them in person, they tell me कि वो जो समीर, बनछोड़दास और भुवन की जो बातें हो रही थी ना कल परसों की वीडियो में, वो हमारे साथ हो चुकी है. So that's why it's a responsibility on me that whatever I say, I have to make it relatable so that people feel, okay, he's a part of us. And I feel similarly, thanks to the Man Company, हम लोगों ने जो भी किया है साथ में, आप पहली चीज़ तो ये आप किस तरह कंटेंट क्या कंटेंट लोगों को दिखाते हो वो तो एक बात है, लेकिन आप किस तरह उसको प्लेटर पे सर्व करते हो, इट्स अ आर्ट इन इटसेल्फ. एंड आई थिंक द मैन कंपनी हैज प्लेड अ रियली गुड पार्ट इन दैट, क्योंकि लोगों को इतना एक्सेसिबल फील होता है. मैं अगर अपने केस में बोलूँ तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक्सेसिबल फील है कि हाँ ये एक प्रीमियम प्रोडक्ट भी है, लेकिन जिस तरह प्रमोशन किया गया है, जिस तरह लोगों तक एक बात पहुंचाई गई है, वो बहुत हर महीने में रिलेटेबल है. एंड आई थिंक इट हैज़ वर्कड रियली वेल फॉर द मैन कंपनी एंड मी एज वेल.
Thank you on that. I will not stand a lot between the rest of the event. Just closing remarks from all of you, and we'll take turns. How do you see the role of content commerce, content platform, commerce platforms, and influencers evolving in the era that India is entering in terms of retail and commerce?
So I think when you think of content, you definitely think of platforms like Meta, because for all influencers and creators, that's the home. It allows them to really reach and engage their audiences. Yeah, all the stats that you said that Bhuvan has, those fantastic stats. So I think we see ourselves as the place where you can place the content. It's where you're able to engage and reach those audiences. And we want to enable and help folks like brands like My Glam or marketplaces like Flipkart to be that place where you're able to connect both those things. Fantastic content from creators, and you folks can do the commerce. And we are just that enabler, bringing everyone together. I think that's the big role we play. The other thing we see is that to play with this medium, जैसे आपने बोला था, you want to make content relatable, I think it's that same space that how do we take it to brands, and how do you bring the right messages to consumers. So we've actually created this program called Made on Reels, and we publicize that program and use that to bring both these ecosystems together, which is the creators and the brands, so that it's a journey that we are all learning every day, all the time. We also work with really small creators, and almost 500,000 creators across the country are on a program with us, where we keep telling them and teaching them the tips and tricks, and similarly take the voices of brands like yourself to them in terms of saying, how can we do more of this and how can we do it better? So that's the role that we want to see ourselves play in content and commerce and bridging that.
Clean?
I think if I look at the larger ecosystem, I think one of the things which Bhuvan said is very correct, which is people want to hear the real story. You know, beyond a point, nobody wants to be just told brands preaching. They want to hear from real people, their real experiences. So I think in times to come, for sure, creator economy will thrive. And I think if we look at a country like ours, India loves brands. We love buying everything that is branded. So in that context, brands and new brands will thrive even more. I mean, if you look at the young people around yourself, nobody wants to wear the brands their moms were wearing. So clearly, brands are here to stay. And if you look at the content platforms on the other side, now those are platforms which are not pushing an agenda. They have a very loyal audience who likes reading their content which is relatable for them. So if you look at content on a Scoop Whoop, it's all the funky men who want to read about stuff which is specific to men and their kind of conversations. Parenting portals, women's lifestyle portals. So fundamentally, it's fostering people to come together and share views and influence each other in a non-branded, non-manufacturer way. So I think in that context, this economy is going to thrive. The important thing really is to do it in a manner that is subtle. Because the moment you become too overt and you really start pushing your agenda, people see through it. And they see through bullshit very fast. So I think in that regard, we just also have to be mindful to do it in a manner that you respect consumers and respect their privacy.
I agree with you. मतलब गए वो दिन जब पेड एडवर्टाइजमेंट से कुछ ज़्यादा खास फ़र्क पड़ता था. अभी तो आई फील कितना ऑर्गेनिक हो गया. मेरे को याद है अभी मैं लास्ट वीक बाथरूम टाल ले रहा था और कभी नहीं ऑनलाइन मैंने ऐसी चीज़ें ली. हमेशा आप जाके फैब्रिक चेक करते हो. तो सबसे पहले नेचुरली क्या करेगा आदमी, मैं गया, मैंने पहले रिव्यूज़ देखे. मैं फ्लिपकार्ट पे जाके मैंने रिव्यूज़ पढ़े और रिव्यूज़ में वो टॉवल के बारे में लिखा था कि हाँ जी इसका फैब्रिक ऐसा है, ये पहले वॉश के बाद ऐसा हो जाता है. सो यू बिलीव इन दैट, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि आप जैसा कोई स्क्रीन के उस तरफ कहीं कंट्री में बैठा है जिसने बोला है हाँ ये लेना चाहिए. सो आई फील उसको ऑर्गेनिक बनाना, जैसा आपने बोला, इट्स सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. मैं अगर अपना एग्जाम्पल दूँ तो आई वॉज ऑनर्ड दैट द मैन कंपनी के साथ वी लॉन्च्ड आवर सिग्नेचर सीरीज लिमिटलेस एंड इनफाइनाइट. और हमने यही म्यूचुअली डिस्कस किया कि इसको बेचेंगे नहीं, बोलेंगे नहीं कि ये ले लो, ये बढ़िया है, ये ऐसा है वैसा है. मैं क्या करता हूँ, मेरे को मज़ा आता है, इंस्टाग्राम पे मैं लाइव जाता हूँ और मैं जो भी कॉलर सबसे पहले आएगा मैं उसको लाइव अपने साथ ले लेता हूँ, एंड देन वो स्प्लिट विंडो नहीं होता जिसमें यू कैन टॉक टू देम. सो दैट वर्कड अ लॉट फॉर अस, क्योंकि उसके अंदर मैंने उनको समझाया कि लुक दिस हैज़ वर्कड रियली वेल फॉर मी. मतलब अगर तुम लोगे, तुम बोलोगे तो मैं भिजवा दूंगा, अगर तुम इसको यूज़ करोगे तो प्रॉमिस करो कि आगे तुम 10 लोगों को बोलोगे कि ये इट वर्क्स. सो आई फील दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये अब समझ गए ना हम लोग भी कि क्या बोलने पे क्या लेना चाहिए, और जब तक आपके पास फर्स्ट हैंड एविडेंस नहीं है किसी और का बोला हुआ कि ये रिव्यू इसका अच्छा है खराब है, आई थिंक हम लोग इतना ईजीली डिसीजन लेते नहीं. सो आई थिंक वो ऑर्गेनिक रहना हर चीज़ अब तो नीडलेस है ये बोलना, बट इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
You are so right. On Flipkart as well, we see the power of user-generated content is huge. Over 80% of our sales actually happen of products that are rated very, very highly by our users. And that is what customers relate to. And I echo what all of you have said, really. Content commerce is here to stay. When platforms like Meta, brands like Glam, and influencers like Bhuvan come together with Flipkart, we have seen magic happen. In an hour, we've seen sales spike by 30 times over. And that's when all of us are just starting to scratch the surface. So kudos to all the influencers out here. And the journey for all of us has just begun. I'm sure that we have a lot of excitement ahead of us. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you so much.
Kanchan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for them. And I have to tell you, there's a big takeaway for me myself. I think Bhuvam Bam and all our panelists have spoken about how to be creative, how to be relatable, and more importantly, gone are the days when you really push your content, is because people out there are very, very smart. I have been a part of that selfie already. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm sure there were a lot of takeaways for all of us. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Bhuvan. Well then, that's the end of our panel discussions. But from here, we shift gears to some very valuable product launches. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short breather. You stay tuned. You yourself can take a little breather, but please be back. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with some product launches you don't want to miss out on. Our celebrities for the evening will be back on stage. So stay tuned as we'll be back in a jiffy.
New Hyaluron Moisture by L'Oreal Paris with a shot of hyaluronic acid instantly fills hair with moisture and locks in hydration. 72-hour hydrated hair, shiny and full of life.
It's not magic, it's science.
New Hyaluron Moisture by L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
खुद को एक्सप्रेस करना makes me shine. मुझे नाज है खुद पर. I'm colorful, visible, and strong.
इसीलिए I choose the new Casting Creme Gloss Ultra Visible by L'Oreal Paris. No ammonia conditioning hair color with royal jelly. Dark बालों को illuminate करे with vibrant colors. 5 times ज़्यादा glossy shine के साथ. 93% कम breakage. Unique होकर भी
We stand together.
we are a shade apart. New Casting Creme Gloss by L'Oreal Paris.
Because we're worth it.
डार्क स्पॉट्स को रास्ते से हटाओ.
Try the L'Oreal Paris Glycolic Bright Expert Skincare Range, validated with dermatologists. 70 times more brightening glycolic, penetrates fast to visibly reduce dark spots in 2 weeks. For even beaming skin, try the L'Oreal Paris Glycolic Bright Expert Skincare Range.
We are worth it.
Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation in a powder. Now in India, covers like a liquid, mattifies like a powder. One swipe for full matte coverage. That lasts up to 24 hours. Waterproof, controls shine. Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation in a powder. By L'Oreal Paris, we're worth it.
Hyaluronic acid की hydrating power.
Now for your hair.
New Hyaluron Moisture by L'Oreal Paris with a shot of hyaluronic acid instantly fills hair with moisture and locks in hydration. 72-hour hydrated hair, shiny and full of life.
It's not magic, it's science.
New Hyaluron Moisture by L'Oreal Paris. We're worth it.
खुद को एक्सप्रेस करना makes me shine. मुझे नाज है खुद पर. I'm colorful, visible and strong. इसीलिए I choose the new Casting Creme Gloss Ultra Visible by L'Oreal Paris. No ammonia conditioning hair color with royal jelly. Dark बालों को illuminate करे with vibrant colors. 5 times ज़्यादा glossy shine के साथ. 93% कम breakage. Unique होकर भी we stand together. We are a shade apart. New Casting Creme Gloss by L'Oreal Paris. Because we're worth it.
डार्क स्पॉट्स को रास्ते से हटाओ.
Try the L'Oreal Paris Glycolic Bright Expert Skincare Range, validated with dermatologists. 70 times more brightening glycolic, penetrates fast to visibly reduce dark spots in 2 weeks. For even beaming skin, try the L'Oreal Paris Glycolic Bright Expert Skincare Range.
We are worth it.
Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation in a powder. Now in India, covers like a liquid, mattifies like a powder. One swipe for full matte coverage. That lasts up to 24 hours. Waterproof, controls shine. Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation in a powder. By L'Oreal Paris. We're worth it.
$33 shades of red lipsticks, still scouting. 3 hours to get ready, but who's counting? It's my skin, I choose to prep it up. It's my face, I choose to do it up. Cause I want my eyes to speak and my lips to wink. While I think I like my nails to tap my head in pink. Did you start the gossip? That all my time and money goes in the way I look. When you look like $1 million, it's alright. 33 shades of red lipsticks, still scouting. Not posing for any selfie, yet pouting. Like me, unapologetically me.
ग्लो तो देखो। ये ग्लो देखकर तेरा भी शादी करने का मन कर गया ना?
शादी नहीं, शादी वाला ग्लो चाहिए एवरीडे, जैसे आपका।
फिर तो रोज उपटन लगाना पड़ेगा।
रोज उपटन?
मामा अर्थ उपटन फेस वॉश, जिसमें है नेचुरल टर्मरिक और सैफरन की गुडनेस। स्किन डीटैन करे और दे शादी वाला ग्लो एवरीडे। शादी वाला ग्लो तो मिल गया, अब दादी वाले ग्लो की बारी। मामाअर्थ उपटन फेस वॉश, ये
I'm tired of retreating. All that womp sounds to me so obnoxious. Boy, you played yourself.
Boy, you played yourself.
एक सवाल जो अतीत को भविष्य से जोड़ता है। क्या लगा है? सीक्रेट है। बताना। बोला ना सीक्रेट है।
Introducing the all-new range of body sprays from Secret Temptation. Shh, it's a secret.
कौन सा परफ्यूम लगाया है? सीक्रेट है।
Presenting the no-gas body perfume range by Secret Temptation. Shh, it's a secret.
कौन सा परफ्यूम लगाया? सीक्रेट है, बताना।
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I request all of you to kindly gather back in the auditorium right here as we're all set with the next session, which is the product launch. And I have to tell you that this one is a rather special one for all the men out there, so you don't want to miss it. Please join us back in the auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, I request all of you to please join us back in the auditorium. We're all set to kickstart the next session for the evening, which is the product launch. And this one is a very special one for all the men out there. So kindly come back as we're all set to kickstart with the second phase of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set for the second phase of the evening. I request all of you to kindly join us back in the auditorium as now we kick off the product launches. So this is rather special, especially for all you beauty enthusiasts. Please, please join us back as we're ready for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be starting with the second phase of the evening in just about 2 minutes. And, of course, we'll have Bhuvam Bam back on stage. So I request everybody to kindly come back, join us back in the auditorium for the second phase of the evening. It's a special product launches that you don't want to miss out on, especially something very special for men. So please join us back. Ladies and gentlemen, I request all of you to please join us back in the auditorium. We're all set for the second phase. For all you beauty product enthusiasts, this is the one for you. We are getting into the phase of product launches. Also, Bhuvam Bam will be back on stage. You don't want to miss out on this one. Come back in. We're all ready for you. Well, I wonder what they're serving outside. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I request everybody to please join us back in the auditorium. We're all set for the second phase of the evening, which is the product launch. As you can see, the big box right next to me. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody who's outside, I request you to please join us back. We're actually waiting only for you because we're all set. And you'd really enjoy this. Because, well, yeah, finally, I was like, are they listening to me? Yeah, they're all coming in. Now, I request you to please come in and settle down as we're set for the second phase of the evening, which is the product launches. I'm sure all of you have enjoyed the panel discussions, intriguing sessions, a lot of intriguing questions. All the lovely girls standing outside, request you to please come in and settle down. Girls, boys, this one's rather special. Everybody, please join us. Wow, I didn't know actually coming on stage would actually have that kind of impact. Thank you. Everybody, come on in and let's get right into business. We'll move on to the product launches now. And I'm just going to wait for everybody to just, I see all of them slightly walking in. The auditorium is getting flooded again. I'm pretty sure the bar is open, isn't it? It is what it is. Well, I get it. All right. Now that you have had your breather and a drink, it's time now to come back in and let us explain everything that we have in store for you this evening, especially this segment, which is about products, and a very important product, especially for men. Well, you know, as women, we've been really, really privileged with all the kind of wide range and varieties of things that is available for us online as well as offline. But this one is rather special, is because, you know, whenever we talk about gender equality, and, you know, we've seen that in cricket also with the gender pay parity coming in, it's lovely to see women getting that kind of levels that we've been demanding for so long. But also it's really good to see that even men are competing in the space where beauty has been dominated by women for so long, and men come in for contention and competition, and especially brands that we're going to talk about just now. You know, adding into that space is rather special. Okay. All right, now that we have a bit of audience here, moving on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive straight into the action and let's talk about the product. Well, one of India's leading men's grooming brands that walks a premium walk and talks like a gentleman. The Man Company, with its vast folio of everyday grooming essentials, has been touching the lives of many men, and hence helping them transform themselves and being an essential part of their transformation journey. And hence, ladies and gentlemen, it's time we call upon stage the man who himself powers the world of grooming. Please welcome Hitesh Dhingra, founder and managing director, The Man Company. Hello and welcome. I'm fantastic, and thank you so much for teaching men how to groom themselves and lovely products that we have here. And joining him back, I'm pretty sure all of you are waiting for the man again. Please give it up for Bhuvam Bam, the talented, the very, very talented, rather the limitless artist, and of course, the brand ambassador of the Man Company's fragrance category. Bhuvam Bam, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Bhuvan. You smell really good. Okay. Okay, with that, moving on, may I also please invite on stage Kanchan Mishra, and I'm pretty sure you know the lady very well by now. Let's give it up for Kanchan Mishra. Now, dignitaries, I would request you to kindly surround this big box because that's where the spotlight is, and the stage is all yours. If you need a mic, go for it.
You do the honors.
The Man Company has been amazing partners with Flipkart in our journey to innovate for men's grooming. And I'm very excited about the Bhuvam Bam range. In Bhuvan's own word, I'm sure the product is going to be very relatable and popular in men. So congratulations on the launch. All the best.
Well, those applauses should keep coming in. For the Man Company, changing lives of so many men out there, grooming up to get the best of themselves out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Man Company, along with Bhuvam Bam and the man himself, Hitesh Dhingra and Kanchan Mishra. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Bhuvam, those expressions, man. Okay, all right. Well, with that, now that we've shifted gears into the very next segment, which is the product launch, ladies and gentlemen, as we get to the next one, I have to tell you all that Kajal Aggarwal will be joining us very soon on stage. So you stay tuned and we'll be back with the next product in just a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as we are all set for the second part of the product launch, the Ayurveda Company. But more importantly, we will also have Kajal Aggarwal on stage. So stay tuned and please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly take your seats. We're ready for the second product launch. We've got Kajal Aggarwal who will be joining us on stage. Kindly take your seats. Everybody outside, please come back in. We are set for the next phase. Ladies and gentlemen, request all of you to kindly be seated. We've got Kajal Aggarwal in the house. She'll be joining us very soon. And we are in the second phase of the product launch. It is the Ayurveda Company. You want to stay tuned for this. Stay with us, all you beauty enthusiasts. And if you want to know everything about beauty and the range of products that Flipkart has to offer, this is the time. We've got the trendsetters and we've got, you know, the movers and shakers of this industry in the house under one roof. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have all of you come in and get seated in the auditorium? We're all ready for you. So I request everybody to kindly get seated.
Come catch me, babe. I'm falling. Come and save me, baby. I'm calling. Come and touch me, baby. I need to be loved. And come hold me, babe. I need to feel love. I need to feel love.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for you. Please get in the auditorium right now as we're all set for the next product launch. This is the last segment of the night. I request all of you to please join us. Kajal Aggarwal has already arrived, so it's time now. We get warmed up for the Ayurveda Company.
Come
and gentlemen, I hope you grabbed yourselves a drink and are now well enthused for the next part of the evening. It's the Ayurveda Company, and we've got Kajal Aggarwal in the house. I request all of you to kindly be seated. If you're not in the auditorium, kindly walk in. Now's the time, as we're about to kickstart this phase in just a couple of minutes. Well, I am back, and this is, I like it. You know what? Let's just give this evening a round of applause. Come on. It's been a night where we've seen some, beautiful panel discussions. We've discussed beauty along with technology, and here we are after the Man Company moving towards the Ayurveda Company. Now, the Ayurveda Company family welcomes each and every one of you, especially because we're here for the launch of a remarkable product. Today we are honored to have the gorgeous, the talented, and now the entrepreneur, Ms. Kajal Aggarwal, the brand ambassador and the long-term partner with the Ayurveda Company. Let's have the lady on stage and let's give her a huge round of applause. I'm pretty sure all of you have been awaiting her presence. Please. Then, may we please also have Mr. Param and Ms. Shrita, founders of the fastest growing and the most loved Ayurvedic D2C brand in the country, the Ayurveda Company. Let's give them a round of applause again, please. Now, first of all, I have to say that all of you look stunning. And please tell us more about the brand. I'll start with you, Kajal, if you would like to enlighten us about the Ayurveda Company and the product that we're here for.
Hi guys, a very good evening. Thank you so much for having us. Well, the Ayurveda Company is a brand that I've had a great relationship with. It's a brand that I totally believe in, comes from the same sort of morals and ethics that I stand for personally, and hence my association. And coming to Kajal by Kajal, my dear little baby, is extremely special to me, very close to my heart. It's a product that I'd love for all of you to try. Yes, including all the men here. This is a product that's extremely clean, versatile, can be used as a kajal, can be used as a liner. Usually women face this problem of their kajal bleeding, especially when it's really hot or in the summers. So this is a product that does not bleed, and I can vouch for that personally. And it's made of the safest, most beautiful ingredients, which actually takes care of your eyes. So please go try it.
So the Ayurveda Company started out of a personal skin problem that I had, that I suffered from for about 3.5, 4 years. And I could only find a solution through Ayurveda. So this brand, of course, is very special to both of us. We are partners in crime, we are partners in life, we are partners in this business together. And we wouldn't have done it any other way. Our association with Kajal started as a brand celebrity relationship, but it has evolved into a family because of the beautiful human that she is and her belief in Ayurveda and the spirit that she brings to the table with respect to the knowledge that she holds about the passion that she has about the products and her personal investment in the growth of the brand. So we're very thankful to have you, Kajal. Thank you so much.
A bit from my side. So the association overall is much deeper and much broader when it comes to real positioning for the new brand tag, right? India has always known, they know about Ayurveda, but it has never become the mainstream day-to-day consumption brand, because the younger generation, that is the Gen Z, the millennials, the most of the people there that are around have never believed and never trusted Ayurveda. And what we personally, experienced, our journey towards Ayurveda was when she was 25, 26, I was 29, and we experienced that Ayurveda has real power to transform. And from there, it connected with Kajal. Kajal is also a strong believer of transformation of life through Ayurveda. And then the products are a byproduct of the efforts that we have been putting in to, co-create multiple products from revolutionary Ayurvedic ingredients. This Kajal, this is a 100% pure Ayurvedic made in India Kajal. It's not imported as most of the other brands are importing from very few global manufacturers. This is a pure Indian Ayurvedic Kajal, and it has a very long stay. It took almost 8 months to get the first sample out when she actually became the brand ambassador for her baby and our baby care range. And from there, this association evolved into her putting her trust as an investor first, and then coming on board to create the first product as Kajal by Kajal. This is the journey, and we are super excited to partner in with Flipkart. I am dead sure that Flipkart is that Indian e-commerce giant that becomes global and goes deeper into the real Bharat of India, the tier 2, tier 3, young, glowing population. And that's where TAC is also going, because we are catering to that aspirational young emerging population of the country who wants to use good product but at an affordable price point, which doesn't hit the consumer's pocket. That's who we are, and we are super excited to be here with the Flipkart team and look forward to an exciting chat.
Well, thank you so much, Param. And let's now please have Kanchan Mishra join us on stage. And now that you have mentioned about the association with Flipkart, let's get to know a little more about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Param Shridha. Thank you, Kajal. At Flipkart, we believe in empowering our customers with access to quality products that cater to their unique needs. And as you mentioned, this association is special because it caters to such unique needs like bleeding Kajal, like the unique needs that only Ayurveda can heal. And we are extremely excited about our partnership with the Ayurveda Company. Congratulations and all the best to the launch.
Well, I request all of you to kindly settle down. As we're all set for a fireside chat with all of you, let's get to know about the product and Flipkart's association. The stage is all yours, Kanchan.
So, Kajal, first question for you. How did your journey with beauty begin?
I think my journey with beauty began way before I was even an actor. As a young girl, as a college girl, all of us are super intrigued and all of us are super curious to know about skincare. You want to try your first kajal, you want to try your first lip gloss, you want to try your first cheek tint. So at the tender age of about 16, 17 is when I started exploring my journey with beauty and beauty products. And realized that natural, clean, and organic care is more important than just the beauty aspect of it.
Interesting. Co-creating anything is a big step, and the choice of brand becomes very critical. Why did you choose the Ayurveda company?
For me, it was a very natural fit. The Ayurveda company shares cumulative ethics, cumulative morals. We share a similar vision. For Kajal by Kajal, our tagline and our entire belief for the product is Nazariya Badlo. We're not just trying to sell the product, but we're actually trying to create awareness as well as a shift in perspective, which is, according to all of us, the need of the hour. And that really struck a chord. And it was just the faith, the transparency, and the trust that I had with Shridha and Param.
Nice. Shridha, Param, what role do you see Flipkart playing in your journey of the Ayurveda company and or the product specifically?
So in addition to Flipkart catering to the metro consumers, we believe that it will also cater to the real Bharat, which TAG really aspires to touch. We see that a real growth lies for us in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and for us, because we are also growing omni-channel, we see a very strong vertical growth, a very strong vertical penetration across tier 2, tier 3 cities, in cities like Indore, Bhopal, Jaipur, in cities like Sikar, in cities like Kochi. Probably, not the top of the list for a lot of, D2C brands, but these are the cities that are giving a lot of deep green signals for us. So we believe that that's where the real meat lies. And that's where I think the online to offline journey and the offline to online journey for us in the real Bharat, for us, could be covered by Flipkart. Param, would you like to add anything?
So, for us with Flipkart, the way Flipkart is also, the best thing is that, we are young entrepreneurs. Kajal has been working, if you actually understand that, her journey is also, she was very young when she started working and has worked for, say, 365 days in a year, when you sit and listen to her. We have worked our, I cannot name, but we have worked actually our asses off in terms of, last 4 years, putting in to create a brand. And Flipkart, coming out of severe competition from global giants, one severe competition in a vertical category leader, and still now generating that kind of mass GMV in the beauty personal care category, and that too from the not so fickle consumer. Because, tier 1 consumers are very fickle because they are flooded with choices every day. Tier 2, tier 3 is where, you still have certain better percentage of retention. So that's why we are very bullish on this association, and we expect that, there is also an affinity towards Ayurveda in that market. So we are absolutely sure that Flipkart and TAG has a very long journey. We also want to become, say, in next 1 to 2 years, at least top 10 contributing brands in your GMV. And how do we, travel that journey together with the kind of evolution your team is doing, overall Flipkart is doing, and how we also keep on acquiring more consumers and retaining consumers along with you. And that's how I feel that this is a strong partnership, the way we partnered than the way we partnered. And I feel Flipkart is that delta which we now look in our e-commerce journey. We have, in the initial phase, we have started off strong offline push already, but we know that, we need one strong partner online, and I'm dead sure that it's Flipkart.
Very nice. Brand with it. It's hard in Ayurveda, built in Bharat, made for Bharat, and through a platform that is loved by Bharat. I love it. Kajal, you talked about Nazariya Badlo. What has been your Nazariya Badlo moment in life?
It's difficult for me to precisely state that one moment. Nazariya Badlo for me has become a way of life. As an actor, as a public figure, I believe that it's my responsibility to set the right example. And living my life in the most appropriate influential manner, in the right kind, setting the right kind of precedence, is my everyday Nazariya Badlo. I work on it each and every day.
Very inspiring. Thank you so much for partnering with
Thank
us in
you.
the journey, and I wish all the best for the launch.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Thank you. Lovely chatting with you.
Thank you for having
Looking
us.
forward.
Well, now's the time we launch the product, Kajal by Kajal. Kajal, the stage is all yours.
ये आंखें सिर्फ शायरी नहीं है, सिर्फ यादों की डायरी नहीं है। ये बदलाव को ढूंढना जानती है।
So guys, this time, most of you, when you entered, you had the product available with you. I hope you will love the effort that TAG as a team has put in to create this product, and you can experience the same.
और गलत को आईना भी दिखाती है। इसीलिए इनमें सिर्फ खूबसूरती का नहीं, ख्याल का काजल भरे। TAG Beautify Ayurvedic Kajal, enriched with moringa and almond oil, waterproof, smudge proof और रहे 24 घंटों तक। काजल बदलो, नजरिया बदलो।
All right, let's give that a round of applause. Kajal Badlo, Nazariya Badlo. What a line. All right, I have to say that it has been a very, very inspiring evening. And the fact that you mentioned, please stay with us. Please, we still have a very important part of the evening. But the fact that you mentioned, Kajal, that you need a kajal that doesn't melt. I'm sure a lot of women are listening to you and, of course, relating to you. Well, as we shift gears to the next part, I have to thank everybody who's here. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we witnessed the launch of a remarkable product, TAG Ayurvedic Kajal, with its natural ingredients, unique formulation, and the elegance of the brand, and of course the brand ambassador, Kajal Aggarwal. This product is all set to redefine beauty. And now, with Kajal, Shridha and Param and Kanchan, let's celebrate the launch by cutting a cake. So we'll have that on stage in a bit, where you can go ahead and take your pictures, and we will get the cake on stage.
I would request the Flipkart team to please join us on the stage. Anurag, Aditya. I'll call. Nishant. Yes. Akanksha. Sharak. I also request the TAG team, wherever you are, Jalaj, Saket, kindly join on the stage. Priyanshi, please. Anirudh. So we have a special cake for this association. Kanchan,